Hey y'all, welcome to Art of the Budget. My name's Nicole. My pronouns are she and her, and I live in the Pacific Northwest on the traditional unceded territory of the Coast Salish Nations. And today I'm doing a budget reconciliation for November 2020. It is going to be December 1st when this goes up, which is the first day of vlogmas, and I, like many of you perhaps, I'm going to be going this month alone because while I typically travel to my hometown to spend the holidays with family and friends, we're in a pandemic, so I'm staying put. And as a way to distract myself, I'm going to do vlogmas. So if you're interested in what I share with you this month, which is going to be some personal finance for artists material, my Investing 101 series is, I promise, coming out. I feel like I've mentioned it a couple times. One video is already recorded. I just need to edit. And I'm also going to be sharing with you some work on getting my business, my art business, going a little stronger. So yeah, if you're interested in any of that, I would really appreciate it if you would subscribe. And if you enjoy this video, I would love it if you would like it. So let's get into the budget. So as usual, we're looking at my every dollar. And if you are not familiar with every dollar, what I do is I plan out my month in this planned category. And then as the weeks go by and I do my budget check-ins, everything gets recorded here in the received or remaining, or this flips over to spent category. And at the end of the month, I reconcile these two. So I actually make this pretty extensive list because I like to archive what the plan was and how it changed. And there's not really a way to do that in every dollar. So I do that with a piece of paper. I just put it in my journal. And that way I have a record. And then these two columns are reconciled. So as you can see right now, I'm over budget by $270, and I'm going to tell you why. I usually try to go through and just hit the highlights. So I had planned for a $3,000 budget. When I went back to October and looked in my next month category, I had received $3,067.56 in paychecks in October, which is what I actually spent in this month of November. And so I changed that number. So I started out a little ahead, which was cool. Interest was the same. Sharing my income. So this month was pretty bad for me as far as sharing my income because I had only shared 30/40 of the planned $100. But considering I'd had that pretty brutal vet bill, I decided that oftentimes if I've got money left over at the end of the month, I'll figure out something to do with it, somewhere to share it, a person to give it to, that it will like help out. But this month I needed to just take that overage. My goal every month is to balance the budget without going into my emergency fund, and so I needed that extra cash. Let's see, savings are all the same. Retirement is the same, so my $500 for my Roth IRA did go over. In housing, everything was pretty spot on. I saved a couple bucks on my electricity because my default is 40 and my bill was just a little less than that. And in daily living, so I was a little over in groceries, but only by $30. And as you know, I used to budget $300 for groceries, so I've been budgeting $200. So it was over, but I'm still pretty pleased with that number. Same in restaurants. It was a bit over, but I had only budgeted 50, which I used to budget 100. So pretty pleased. And household and kitties are both just a little bit over, but for pretty important stuff. Gas was a tiny bit over, but I got gas the last day of the month, so I bet it's going to be under this month. I'm just scrolling on down. Fun category was actually a little bit under. I had planned for 50 and I spent 37.84. So I took the overage there too. The big kicker was two places. One, on clothes, I had planned to spend 20 or to add 20 to this fund, and instead I needed to add $81. I did buy some pretty important things. I bought underwear and a watch, so two pretty important things, but they were not planned for. And then, of course, the kicker was this $550 for my cat to go to the cardiologist. And in case I didn't mention it, or in case you missed the last video, the news was good. His heart health has improved. His heart function, has improved, and his heart is back to a pretty much normal size, so it was enlarged. So that's all great news, but it was $550. So I need to figure out how to deal with this $270 overage. So I had planned to put $250 into this cat fund. Right now it says $550, but I need to figure out where this can come from. So I'm always trying to avoid going into my true emergency fund, which is about 3 months pay, and it's up higher in the savings category of my budget. I have a few different sinking funds, and while they are earmarked for certain things, I consider them all fair game if it keeps me from the true emergency fund. And I think we're going to have to visit this important stuff sinking fund again. So it's $204. So I'm going to go ahead and take that off of this. So I'm going to add important stuff, 204. It's going to go there. And that leaves 346 remaining. 346. Okay, so let's see what we're working with now. So this is 275.39. Hold on a second. This part's always a little confusing. Okay, so this is 274.61. So I have 503 left, but oh, that was kind of cool. Okay, so I know that was a little confusing, but basically I split the transaction. So that 550 for the cats. So I'm gonna so basically, yeah, sorry if this is confusing. For this important stuff category, that cardiology 550 is now 204 of it is under this important stuff category. I usually try to like do a little bit of fancy footwork to keep everything in the same category, but honestly, I'm exhausted and I just can't do that this month. So that's just gonna stay like that. I might tinker with it for my records, but basically that money is going to come out of there. And then the cat fund, looks like I still have 504. So I'm actually just going to go ahead and put this all into the cat fund. Shoot, that always happens to me. 279.64. Oh my God, what did I just do? All right, 279.64. I'm not editing that out. This is like real life here. That leaves me with $5 in the cat fund, and that is like fine with me. I'm just gonna leave that, and we have an every dollar budget. Let me know down below how your month went, and let me know down below if you are also not going to be traveling and having a radically different December than you normally would. I would love to know about it and know that I'm not alone in that. And I will see you in the next video, which will be tomorrow because it's a vlogmas. So I'll see you then.